Hi, and welcome to Module 1. In this module, I'm going to explain what the big deal is about using Facebook bots and how it can increase your sales. But it can do so much more than that. It is such a powerful tool, and you will soon see why. So let's take a look. Okay, so Module 1, why bots and how to increase sales. This is the new frontier, and this will become the standard in how companies interact and acquire customers. It will not be long before using Messenger becomes the standard in interaction with customers. Thousands of companies are already embracing this new way of acquiring customers. Similar to how email became the standard in business communication, this will become the standard as well. By using Facebook bots, you are going to have a distinct advantage because not only are your customers not desensitized to it yet, but they may actually enjoy the interaction. So our tests, in our test, the percentage of people that actually respond to our posts far exceeded any other forms of online advertising that we use. And this makes sense because of how the messenger presents itself to the audience. This form of contact with your audience is extremely relevant right now. There are over 2 billion Facebook users worldwide, and it's growing daily. This is a huge ocean of potential customers. And why is it so effective? Because it is personal, it is unique, it's interactive, and it is instant. So it is personal in its delivery because it presents itself as a personal, private message to your subscriber. It has that very personal feel, and you can have that interaction one-on-one. It is unique to any other form of customer contact, and they still have very low exposure to this, so they haven't been desensitized to it yet. It's interactive, allowing your audience to engage and keeping their attention on you, which is so important. So you have them right there listening to you. And then finally, it's instant. This really speaks to our times. We live where, in a world where we want that instant, we want that immediate, gratification, reaction. We're just used to that pace. And again, this last point of being instant is particularly potent. You are giving your audience instant interaction and engagement. It's no longer a one-sided sales pitch. It's a conversation. It's extremely powerful. This face-to-face interaction really enables you to build that one-on-one relationship with your audience, and that in turn grows loyalty, which is what we really want. And the best part is they requested to be contacted by you, which is amazing. Facebook post interactions, you can become your audience's friend. So you can build one-on-one relationships with them now in real time. And this tool allows you to call them by name, drawing them in, engaging with them, interacting with them in a very personal way, which is, again, very different than any other way we were able to contact customers before. A bot helps your Facebook ad come alive. So by being a little bit creative, you can encourage them to comment rather than click. You can now react through Messenger to your users' comments, and because their comments initiate the bot, you can respond accordingly. You can encourage them to make the first contact. So you can put a message up on your ad saying, comment below and we'll respond instantly. So again, you're encouraging them to interact, increasing your engagement. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so let's talk sales. Let's talk about the nitty-gritty, the actual application, what we really want out of this, which, is when you use a bot, you can increase your sales. And you do this by sending out personal messages, directing them to your website or your sales page. You can add coupons to your messenger or link free content to your messenger. Create other incentives. You can send them directly to your Amazon listing. You can create a ClickFunnels and capture their email addresses so you start building your email list, which is so important. All of this you can do through a bot. We have developed proprietary software that is available to you in this course that will allow you to do one-time use coupons to your customers. And this enables you to launch products more effectively and generate more sales. And we'll go into this in much more detail in the coming modules. Okay, so increasing your review rate. So you can develop feedback sequences similar to how you use email to do feedback sequences. Try to get those reviews with the customers. You can do the same thing with a bot, and it is unbelievable how much you get back and the amount of reviews you get back, but also just preventative measures, if that makes sense. So we will show you this in more detail, and again, the following modules will walk you through and actually create a feedback sequence, and it's very straightforward, but you will be so amazed at the amount of feedback you get and the immediacy of it. It's tenfold. So and it makes sense, once again. Why? Because it's great customer service. You're giving them real-time interaction. So any problems that they have had with the product or the service, you can address immediately. You can start your bot, the automated message to those customers, and then when they start to respond, you can take over and actually talk to them one-on-one to resolve any issues, to help get them to leave a review. There's so many other ways you can go in this bot. So anyway, just wanted to touch base on that. Definitely can do increasing your reviews with a bot. Increase your engagement. Again, by having your members subscribe to your Facebook Messenger, they will be up to date on any and all information you want them to see. So you're doing a live webinar, send them a message, let them know about it. You're launching a product promotion, let them know about it. You're doing some sort of variation, you want to do an upsell. Again, any upcoming events, let them know about it. It's not just a post in a news feed. You're able to call them out by name and say, hey, I have this thing that I think you're going to really find interesting. Extremely powerful. And this, creating a private survey, this is really awesome, this part of the Facebook bot, and extremely potent when you're building promotions and trying to give value to your audience. When you want to know more about your audience, you can create a personal private survey. You want to know what they value. You want to know what they like. What are they interested in? All of these things you can discover and gather that data. And then now you know what products, what promotions, and outreach will be the most effective for your audience. So you're constantly able to hone in and make it the most effective launch, relaunch, retargeting, whatever it is that you want to do. And finally, all of these characteristics individually are extremely potent to our culture, our current culture. And now think about, we have a tool that essentially encompasses all of them. So it's really awesome. There are truly innumerable ways you can use this tool. And once you've mastered the basic structure of this, only your imagination will limit you. So let's begin.
Okay, before you do anything, you're going to need to sign up for Chatfuel. Chatfuel is free. It has no monthly recurring costs, and you can sign up by just doing the Get Started. It's fairly self-explanatory. It'll have everything that you need to get started. We've already signed up, so this is the dashboard that we end up with. We're just going to do a quick overview of what each part does. So we'll go through this right here. Okay, the basic structure. You're going to end up in the build section. This is where you're going to construct most or all of your bot sequences. If you look here, it's made up of a series of blocks. And we're going to go over this later, but think of a block as a segment of a story in a choose your own adventure. And at the end of each block, there'll be a decision to make, and it's depending on what you choose in that decision, you'll go to a different block. So in the welcome message at the end, it could say, do you want to subscribe to our service? And then you say yes, and yes would take you to agree, and no would take you to disagree. So yes would take you here, and no would take you here. And we're going to show you how all of that works in the later modules. But for now, we're just going to go over. So this is where you're going to spend most of your time building your block. Next we have set up your AI. This is where you're going to add rules on how your bot responds to specific things that are said in a chat. So you can place a rule in here that says if someone opens up the chat in Facebook and says Blueprint, for example, you would then execute a block, and that would be a block within this module, which we just showed you, that would go through a sequence that would deliver them a coaching blueprint or whatever you wanted to deliver to them. So you're going to need this particular part to interact with comments on pages. It's not where you set up the comments, but it is where you initiate a specific block. And again, we're going to go over that later. I know this is going to seem a little foreign to some people, but it'll all come together once you get through all the modules. Next is the broadcast. You'll be using this when you're sending out follow-up messages to people who have already signed up through your bot, and you can use it to send out a message to say that you're going live, or you could send a promotion to people who maybe used your bot a month ago to get a coupon code for another product, and you want to present the same offer to a different group of people, or to the same group of people rather. So that's where the broadcast would come in. Configure is just your basic settings. This is where you'd set your bot to connect to a page. So it's kind of important you would just connect it here. So if I was to hit disconnect, it would disconnect this bot from this page, and then I could reconnect it on this one. This is the screen that you'll see. And it's basically to tell Chatfuel which page your bot is managing. So that's in the configure section. Next, we're going to go to grow. And this is where we set up a rule to acquire users from comments. So we can click a rule here. Here I have, well, let's go back here and we can click on my I want one rule. We'll be going over this too. Basically, you call it something. This one is on a specific Facebook post. So on a specific post on Facebook, and we'll show you how to get that URL from Facebook. You will have this, and it will reply with this comment. So you can put whatever you want in there. Unfortunately, you can't connect to a block. It has to be a comment. But you can have your comment say, type blueprint to get a copy of our blueprint. And then when they type blueprint, then it executes a block using the setup AI that we showed you before. And then analyze, that'll appear there when you have 3 or more users. It basically just tells you what people did. It's kind of some cool analytics. We won't be going over that too much in this module, but you'll be able to see your interactions and what people are looking at and how many people signed up and that kind of thing, open rates. So it can be useful. Updates, community, help, and then I could log out too. So we're using Anna's account right now. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, well that concludes this module. We'll see you in the next one.